Hello and welcome back to Holt, Michigan for the final round coverage of Discraft's CCR Open fueled by Great Lakes Disc. This is a Disc Golf Pro Tour Q Series event, and we at Gatekeeper and Heiser Media are super excited to bring you this coverage. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth today by Nick Hanson. How's it going, Nick?
It's going good, man. It's been an exciting weekend of disc golf here. With the amount of players we have, it's been a high caliber event. Excited to see some new faces on our card today.
Yeah, we've got GT Hancock still leading the way with a pretty comfortable lead, but three new faces in Chandler, Kramer, Nieminen, and Emerson Keith going to be joining us on the lead card for this third and final round.
We'll get right into it here at hole 1. 354 feet par 3. Low line and high line available, but it's kind of a hard green to access to get all the way back left. A lot of times you're going to see people out to the right here on the screen. Circle's edge or farther away.
GT Hancock leading the way after an absolutely fire 15 under par second round. Back-to-back hot rounds in this tournament is obviously going to give you a pretty comfortable cushion to work with. We'll see if he can kind of keep that momentum rolling today.
Pushes it a little deep there.
Chandler, Kramer.
Likely getting a par.
Yeah, Chandler Kramer, the forehand specialist. If you haven't watched his game before, it is very impressive to watch. In my opinion, the best forehand thrower in the world. He's going with the roller on the tee of 1. Super flippy disc. Didn't look like it quite got all the way up and over.
Very interesting play there.
Yes, Nieminen also finding himself on the lead card. Great forehand thrower as well. Looks like he's lining up the backhand here, which makes a lot of sense for this hole 1. Looks like he's going to take the high route, very high route.
Oh, wow.
And almost dunks it.
Good win today
shot
for that shot.
Yeah, and Emerson Keith rounding out the card. All three of these players had very solid second rounds, jumping them up the leaderboard into this card. So we'll see, now that we're back on this first course that they played in round 1, if they're able to improve on those round 1 scores. Emerson trying to take the high route, and
Ooh, that's a tough one there on this first hole, but should give him enough distance up the fairway to sneak one around the corner.
yeah, tough break. That's probably one of those branches you don't even think about when you're in practice and lining up a shot on this hole, but tough one to hit. Does give himself a chance to save the par.
Chandler Kramer from bottom of the hillside. Oh, wow.
Giving it a run.
What a run is right.
So Hancock did just push his drive a little bit too straight. Gonna just lay that one up from probably outside circle 2.
Yeah, smart play there. Not a lot of people are going to be getting this birdie here today.
This is a par look for Emerson after that mishap off the tee, but that is a great putt to start his day.
Yeah, we'll take making par saves like that to start.
Birdie look here for Nieminen.
Able to connect. Do you think GT Hancock is Going to be playing a little safer today, or do you think he's just going to try and attack with the same mindset as the first day, with having
Yeah.
with having a 7-stroke lead? Like, how would you prepare attack
I don't
today?
know. That's a great question, because 7 strokes is so much that I don't even think he thought he would be in this position, I'm sure. So it's one of those things where I think you just have to come out with the same mindset and game plan as round 1 and see what happens down the stretch.
All right, we're into hole 2, 600 feet, par 4. If players can dump one into this center fairway, they're going to have a look towards the basket. This course features a bunch of good 2-shot par 4s, starting it off here on hole 2.
Yep, the forehand is definitely a good option off the tee here. We saw it for most of our card in round 1. Looks like that's what Nieminen is going to go for here.
Yeah, don't need much more than that. Going to be able to attack from there. So we have GT Hancock here up next. Going with the turnover backhand. No surprise there. Putting a good move on that one there. A little hyzer out, but not a ton. Going to be in great position.
Yep, plenty of room over there in this fairway. Anything out in that short grass is going to give you a nice easy hyzer into the green. Although if you're Chandler Kramer, you might want to push the left side a little more, as it looks like he is going to do here, and take that backside that you mentioned, Nick, in round 1 is also an option.
Yeah, that's a pretty massive tee shot there with the sidearm. I'm going to say he's quite a bit further than the rest of our group so far.
Emerson going to go with the backhand as well, trying to bite off a little more distance. Ends up in a
Wow, he's
actually
way
way
down
up the
there.
fairway. Yeah.
He gave that one a ride.
So Nieminen up first, got this nice smooth backhand into the green. Just needs to make sure to give it enough to get around that corner, and he executes that perfectly. Just skips past the basket. About 15 feet long or so.
He's got to be throwing shots like that today to put pressure on. And so far, he's doing it. See if GT can get a good one. Oh, just barely around that last bush. Gonna get his first birdie of the day.
Yeah, perfect weight on it. Just barely beating the corner, and Chandler's gonna have to go. Yeah, he's telling us where the basket is. He's gonna have to go high to get this back right enough to give him a putt, and that is definitely has enough height.
Look at that. We gotta see that backdoor route. No surprise having it come from Chandler Kramer.
And wow, Emerson with just a jump putt in. That was an absolute crush of a drive on the 600-foot par 4, and he's got maybe 100 feet, giving it a, well, maybe not quite a run, coming up a bit short, but making this hole look easy.
I think he was going for it, trying to get to the gap, maybe try to get a 100-footer, 90-footer.
I mean, if there was ever a time to do it, down 7 strokes in a final round, I think is a good enough excuse. So I like the aggressive play, and it worked out. Nieminen to tap in his birdie, and it looks like we're going to have ourselves our first star frame of the day here on hole 2.
Yeah, as GT should be able to drop this in here, keeping a 6-stroke lead. A lot of golf left, though. Hole 3 is no joke at 810 feet par 4, OB right and left hand side. Players wanting to get past these trees right here to then hopefully attack the green. The green is surrounded by OB, so attacking it is a little tricky. You have to be in a good position. If you're not in a good position off the tee, you're going to be laying up trying to get your par.
As we have our first FPO check-in of the day, Kristen Tatar and Owen Scoggins were in quite a battle.
What a park job. And just for quick clarification, that was hole 2 for them.
Nieminen going to go with the wide spike. Heiser off the tee, does get caught up.
Interesting choice, I would say. That Heiser demands a lot of airtime to get around it.
Yeah, definitely is the safer option, I think, if you're just playing this one for par. But, yeah, like you said, that OB on the right makes that potentially dangerous.
As we see GT overturning his just a bit there, going to catch those same 2 trees. Really the main guardians on that right side of the fairway that you need to avoid.
Tee shot definitely sets up well for the power forehand if you've got it. Obviously Chandler does, so let's see what he can do here, going full flex.
Able to get around them, pushing that OB on the right side. It's going to be a big forehand to reach the green from there.
Yeah, difficult tee shot. You got to push the disc straight for quite a long time to land in that ideal spot. Emerson going backhand, Heiser flip. Let's see if this can get over.
Oh, and that's a great landing zone. He's going to be able to attack from there, potentially with even a straight on approach.
Yep, Hancock most likely just going to pitch up from here, essentially playing for par at this point. Although that's going to fade a little bit right, but yep, should be just fine. Short up and down there from there to get his par. Yes, he has a great forehand. I'll see how aggressive he gets here. This looks like a pretty full
aggressive.
send.
Yeah. And he's unfortunately stuck behind the only tree close to the green and going to have an obstructed look for birdie.
This is going to play as a very long spike Heiser forehand from Kramer. We'll see if he can get enough distance on it. Oh, get some great ground play, though.
Pretty good shot. Going to be just, I think, about circle's edge there.
Yeah, not a bad result after being a little pinched on the right side. But yeah, this drive from Emerson was absolutely perfect. Just a nice soft turnover into the green from here.
Oh, and it doesn't look like he turned it enough. Catching that last tree there leaves him about 50, 60 feet.
Yep, so Hancock probably 200, 250 left in. Just a nice soft forehand for him. Should be able to save his par. It does come up short of the bowl, but that's only about 20, 22 feet from there.
Yeah, that should be no problem.
So we'll see a couple of long looks from underneath this tree. Nieminen will be first. Slightly downhill as this basket does sit in that bowl. Gives it a decent effort. Emerson from a very similar distance.
Ooh. Would have been nice to see that one drop.
Chandler Kramer with a rare birdie on the third. This did play as the third hardest hole on the course, so that is picking up strokes on the field right there.
Yeah, 0.26 over. It's a pretty good hole design, I'd say.
Yeah, forces the players to throw two very high level shots if you want to score. Good par save from Hancock.
Emerson getting a good one. Not a lot of score separation on this hole out of our top card. I feel like we need to find something that allows for more score separation, but let's take a quick look at our leaderboard.
Yep, nobody doing anything too crazy, only 3 holes in. A couple of guys 2 down through 3, making some early moves. But GT Hancock still with a comfortable lead.
Hole 4, 364 feet, par 3. Slightly downhill start, rising at the end again. That sidearm that's low and gets a good skip.
Checking in again with Owen Scoggins. Was leading this tournament after the first 2 rounds and absolutely smokes a forehand here. Bit of a comeback putt, but that's not a problem for Owen. Basically a tap in, 40 footers, never a doubt.
It's been nice seeing her make putts all weekend, and we're over here watching the MPO. These check-ins from Crew 42 have been awesome.
Yeah, make sure to check out that coverage when it drops later this week. They'll have full FPO coverage from this tournament dropping soon. Yeah, see if Chandler goes wide forehand or inside forehand here. Both are available, and yep, he's going to take that big high route, bringing it back at the end.
Oh, what a smash.
Gosh, that takes so much juice to do at 364, going that high with probably a super overstable disc.
Just towering.
See if ESA tries to match or if he goes for that up the middle, more of the hyzer flip line.
Just absolutely dialed one up the middle there. That is premium.
Great angle control. Just a nice subtle hyzer flip with a neutral disc, making that shot look easy. More technical line here for Hancock. Going to go with the turnover. Oh, and just catches a branch.
Barely too. The drop mid fairway. Probably 250 or so to the basket yet.
Yeah, so an opportunity for a card to make up some strokes. Emerson likes the sidearm as well. Up the middle. A bit low out of the hand. It's going to need a skip and doesn't get it. That thick grass kind of eats it up. Going to be out in the circle 2 range.
Yeah, I was thinking we'd get a few more skips here this year, but the grass is pretty thick and they're staying pretty close to where they land.
So pretty routine upshot for Hancock. He is going to save that par. And yeah, Keith out here. Call this about a 45, 50 footer. Slightly uphill.
Ooh, and yeah, it's an unfortunate miss there. Not able to catch any metal. We'll be able to tap in for par, though, as we See a park job here.
Yeah, just 15 feet for Nieminen. You tap in his birdie. Ooh, a little right, but
Hey,
it's in his in. In his in. Yep, exactly. And yeah, Chandler, after that ace run, spiking it just deep of the basket.
Yeah, an ace would have been fun today, but we'll take some more birdies on our card.
That's right, boys.
Yeah, bringing the deficit to just 5.
If they can get us to 2 or 3 by, say hole 11, I would say we're gonna maybe have a battle. Got to put that pressure on though. Hole 5, another opportunity. 404 par 3. Playing a long, large hyzer out to the right. It's going to get you past these trees that we're passing now. Otherwise, we see a lot of disc funnel short left there with the hyzer throw.
Chandler Kramer, very technical forehand hole here.
Doesn't love it. Should be able to get up and down for par, though. And yeah, it's a tough corner for the turnover.
Yeah, I was almost expecting him to try to go for another roller there just to, mitigate the ceiling that comes into play late in the flight. See a lot of players go with this big, wide spike hyzer to beat those late trees. We'll see if this works out for Nieminen. He's asking for it to get down.
Oh, it's pretty close to that out of bounds over there. Very interesting that he got all the way back left. GT taking a deep breath here. Wanting to make sure he gets a good one out there.
Good adjustment after seeing Yesay's drive. Gives it a little bit more width. Expecting the wind to bring it back, and it does. Drops down about 25 feet away.
Yeah, that backside tree is nice because when you hit it, you'll always have a look, whereas those front couple trees, you get that low ceiling putt.
See if Emerson can match that line. This one is looking nice out of the hand.
Oh, and just catching. Gonna leave himself a long circle 2 bid, though. Will be open.
I don't know if Kramer has much of a run here. We'll most likely just have to lay it up underneath those trees. Chooses to go around them, that will work as well. Yeah, pretty much that same distance that Emerson had on the last hole. 45 feet or so. Just a little tailwind.
Oh, and he gets it. Perfect. Right dead center. And maybe that'll get him jump started here heading to the rest of this round.
Yeah, great putt there. Good adjustment from the last hole. Nieminen has to go high ante putt around these 2 trees and doesn't quite get the height right. It's a tough lie.
Chandler able to clean up for par there. Tough hole when you're playing sidearm only.
Yeah, this one definitely is exponentially easier with that right hand backhand spike hyzer. Big birdie putt here for Hancock. to build his lead back to 6 if he's able to knock this one down from about 20 feet. And he does.
Yeah, if he can stay on just, parring and getting a birdie here and there, it's going to be really tough to track him down today. Hole 6, 1,000-footer, par 5. OB left and right, sand trap here in the middle is OB as well. Really just, you want to play some good placement, 350-foot shots, and you'll be able to get up and down for a birdie. However, if you have the power, eagle is in play.
Yeah, goal number 1, got to put something out there through this gap. A lot of players going for a bit of a higher line out of the hand. A little bit more space up there. And that's pretty much what Hancock has done here. Gets a little fade out nicely. It's in a great spot.
Yeah, no issue with that. Be able to work his way along the left side of the fairway from there.
After how aggressively we saw Emerson play hole 2, would not be surprised if he goes big on this tee shot here.
Oh, that looks nice. He's going to probably try and push that OB on the left side. And that's looking to be in a pretty good position. Could maybe even attack with the large roller.
Yeah, roller, potentially just big air shot, left to right moving turnover. We'll see what he goes for from there. No surprise. Big forehand here from Kramer.
So automatic drop zone? Yes, sir.
But doesn't look like it gets through and is out of bounds.
Yeah, so here on this one, if you don't make it past those 2 trees you see there creating the gap, you go to the drop zone that's going to be up and to the left.
Big spike hyzer from Nieminen. This is looking good as well. Lands very similar spot to Hancock on the left side of the fairway. Looks like he's lining up the big Annie shot for his second, trying to get past this sand bunker.
Hard to tell. Oh, yep, and it's going to fade out on him there. This hole already taken some OB strokes from our card.
Yeah, and it comes up quick if you're out of position, trying to bite off a little more than you should. Kramer now from that drop zone. Just going to play down the left-hand side. Anything in the fairway will work out just fine. That is a good shot. Should put him in position where he can save a par.
GT just looking to pitch around, get on the other side of that sand. Nothing fancy needed here.
Yeah, executed well. Keeps himself in bounds, in position. That's all you need. Yeah, Emerson kind of just ends up pinched off. Doesn't really have a great angle to attack with a backhand on the second. So this forehand is just a fine option. Just looking to play for birdie, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, he's got plenty of power to keep him out of the trouble. As we see GT set himself up for a straight approach for the birdie op.
Yep, just a nice smooth putter or mid-range shot into the green here.
You gotta throw it.
Does come up a bit short.
Still got
Yeah, curious about that decision there. Maybe unintentional, but we have Emerson here dealing with a little bit of low ceiling.
But he puts this on a great line, a little bit of turnover. Does catch a late tree, putting him out in circle 2 again. And Chandler's in basically the same spot. Gonna need to get a little bit of ground play. Oh, and just gets none of it.
Yeah, and this grass, there again, where it hits, it sticks. No love for the players.
Yeah, making things especially tough on a hole like this with the very low ceiling. You'd love to get a little skip at least to get under those late trees. Instead, you got to air it out like Yesay does there, running the basket.
Buzz in the tower on the par 5.
So this is a par look for Kramer after the OB drive, and he knows out of the hand just a bit right.
GT a little closer than we thought, it looks like. Oh, and he thought he had it for a second there, but just a bit short.
Yeah, maybe a little drop from that tail cross wind there. Emerson, a bit of a low ceiling, has to go to the knee from outside the circle for his birdie. Oh, and he knocks it down. What a putt.
What a putt is right. Let's go, Emerson Keith. Shout out on the day, 2 eagles.
Wow.
Wait for this one here.
This is a par putt for Nieminen.
Taking his time. Oh, and knocks it down. Very nice. All right, 2 eagles on the day. Connor Rock and Zachary Nash.
Nicely done, boys.
2 bombers.
Yeah, you kind of have to eagle a 1,000-foot hole like this one. Must have had some massive second shots from those guys.
Taking a look at this leaderboard. At this rate, I don't know if anything's going to stop GT Hancock the way he's been playing this weekend. Joel Freeman with a 4 down, but other than that, everybody about the same area. Hole 7, 830 feet, OB right and left. Very difficult green to access, even if you do get a good drive. You'll see here a few trees to navigate right at the mouth. Most players are going to be trying to get a 4, as this hole has played over 5 today.
So we check in once again with our FPO lead card. Kristen Tatar, after a fire second round, trying to track down Owen Scoggins with a great drive there. She set up well for this second shot. Splits those 2 trees. Caught up a bit short. Going to be left with about a 40-footer.
This would be a huge make.
Oh, and she gets it.
And
What
that's
a
the
putt.
Kristen we have come to know. Great drives, long putts. Putting a move on here early.
Hole does shape up well for the forehand. There is a bit of space on the right-hand side of the fairway once you get far enough down it. So Emerson going to go with the flex line.
Yeah, that's good. You right? I need to look at the order.
Puts a good move on that one. Hopefully has a decent run up in front of that tree there. Otherwise, he's going to be looking at par. See if GT can put the right turn on this disc to get him out in the open.
Yeah, it's going to want to go on the higher side with this one to get over those trees that we can't quite see in the first half of the flight. Definitely had the height on it. Does it have the turn?
Yeah, exactly.
I think so. That's going to find the fairway.
Oh, and I like this shot.
There's that one.
Yeah.
Another center cut shot. You're seeing just why these players are all here today.
Yeah, everybody playing consistent, playing smooth, just keeping it in the fairway. Chandler Kramer, this is a bit low.
Okay. Something.
Yeah, it drops a bit early.
Yeah, he's still looking at, I would say, 500 feet or so to the basket.
Yeah, this is most likely a placement shot, although he does put a great move on it.
And that'll do. Still got about 100 or so to the basket, but puts himself in a good position to get up and down for par.
Say with a good move on this one. Does catch a late tree, but stays in bounds.
GT here just really wants to put one at the mouth of this gap, I would say. Doesn't need anything fancy, and this flip up looks about, I was going to say about perfect, but catching one of those last trees there in the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, Nick. A tough lie for Emerson. Doesn't really have a run up with this tree right in his backswing. So basically just has to play this one for par at this point. But a good shot there either way. If you're looking at our score graphic, that is not a typo. This hole did average 5.15. So the hardest hole on the day by far. And if these players are able to get up and down from their lies here and save a par, that'll be a great score.
Yeah, averaging a whole stroke over is pretty absurd. And it's not like it's rainy and windy today. It's a little windy, but conditions are pretty decent.
Yeah, it's just that hard of a hole. And even from here, still a tough up and down. A lot of late trees to navigate that can leave you out in circle 2 if you're not careful. But this one looks well thrown from Kramer.
Oh, and the sidearm master puts one close for par. Gotta love it.
Kind of an annoying lie for Hancock. Got this tree right in his face. But is able to manage it. Got up a bit short.
Yeah, gonna give himself a putt, but like you said, a little short. Most of our players just kind of not exactly on point here on this hole. They're getting down the fairway, but nobody having 3 perfect shots so far.
Yeah, another tough lie for Nieminen. He's behind a tree as well, but throws a great upshot of his own.
Little kick forward, we'll take that.
Yeah, Emerson, long look now for par. This might even be outside circle 2.
I thought we were about to see another one.
And Hancock not much closer. Probably 50 feet or so for him. Good run.
Yeah, just off the front there. Gonna take a bogey.
Yeah, this hole, only one birdie on the day. We'll give the shout out to Nolan Ramser with 3.
Yeah, I was looking through scores. A lot of double bogeys out there I'm seeing. A lot of 6s.
Yeah, it happens quick on a hole like this if you find that out of bounds off the tee or on your second shot. Big numbers can happen. Good pars from Nieminen and Kramer. Really earned it on those upshots there, keeping it close.
GT tapping in here. Keeping his 5-stroke lead. So, still plenty of room in front of the field. But as we go into hole 8, 230 feet, OB on the left-hand side. Tough, tricky little short hole, you could say. Short gap on the inside. You can take the outside gap and try and skip one over to the green. Multiple ways to attack this. Here we have Owen for a long birdie putt. No doubter.
Oh my God.
Bang.
Every time we see an Owen Scoggins putting highlight, I am just so excited to watch her drain another deep circle 2 putt, and that one was awesome to see. A lot of guys have been opting for this inside flex forehand line this week. Definitely makes the gap the biggest the whole way through. Let's see if Nieminen can put this one on a good angle.
Oh, it looks a little tight. Yep. Catching and kicking all the way out of bounds on the right side. Wow. From left OB to right OB. In a matter of seconds. See if Chandler can make the correction here.
Nothing more than a nice overstable approach disc for these guys. Looks like it's on a good angle if it gets to flat.
Oh
It
yeah.
does slide up through the gap.
Gives him about 25-footer or so.
Emerson liking that line, going to try to do the same.
Oh, I like this one. Oh, doesn't get the same reaction up the hill. But should have a look from circle 2.
Yeah, looks like it might have been just a bit overturned, never quite got back to the hyzer angle to get that skip. GT going to be the only one to go for the backhand line. Looking to bounce back after the bogey on 7. This looks like it's on a good angle. Does it get through?
Oh, and that's very nice. Just deep of the basket, maybe 15 feet is all. Gonna be looking to get back on track with a birdie.
Yeah, what a terrible kick. Yes, they took all the way onto that road. OB right. Has to just pitch this one up.
And he leaves that one pretty short, it looked like.
Tough lie for Emerson. Gonna have to go Annie putt around these 2 trees. Probably still from 40 feet, 45.
Ooh, and just barely short. Would have likely been in if he did make it to the flat here like Chandler. See if he can connect for his birdie.
Yeah, that's a great putt there. Circle's edge, knocking it down. He's still in this thing. Definitely going to take a stellar back 9. but trying to keep pace with GT. Here's yes, a long or actually bogey save now.
Able to connect, very nice. I would say with the way GT's playing right now, I think it would take quite the meltdown by him for someone to catch him. He's just been so consistent this weekend, not really taking bogeys, minimizing mistakes whenever they do come up, but so far a great tournament from GT.
Yeah, and an opportunity for another birdie here, knocking it down. It's a good bounce back for him.
Man, we're flying through this whole 9 already. 492 feet, par 4. OB on the right side there with the road. Players are looking to just dump one into this fairway somewhere so that way you can access this gap and get up into the green. Playing is one of the easier holes on the course today. Potentially it's another star birdie for him here as we have a FPO check-in with Kristen Tatar.
This is looking like she's going big off the tee, trying to get up into that gap. A little bit left, but great distance.
Yeah, as you can see, almost too far left. Gonna need to go to the sidearm.
Yeah, just a little baby flex into this green. And catches a late tree. Maybe a good one.
Yeah, I think that was a good tree for her. That might have been in the cabbage back there, but looking to secure another birdie here in this front 9.
Yeah, drops it in on the straddle putt for the birdie. So we see Owen Scoggins with another. This is like a 70-footer. Oh my God. What a putt.
If they're showing Owen, we know it's going in. There's no question. Once again, thank you to Crew 42 for that highlight.
This is a hole I think Chandler Kramer could get a putt if he decided to get aggressive.
Which it looks like he is. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, I think he's going flippy roller rather than the super aggressive roller. Still a good shot. But I think if he went like huge, like big turnover that just holds the whole way, he could definitely get up there in the gap for a long look. But most of our players are just going to take this nice easy hyzer. Just put something in the middle, playing for the birdie. Good shot for Hancock up and around the bend.
Yeah, gonna be a little bit to the right. Gonna have maybe a tight up shot, but really just needs to make sure he's securing par at bare minimum.
This is looking just fine for Emerson as well in the short grass. It was a good result on this hole, especially pushing that left side if you prefer the forehand into the green like we saw from Kristen.
Not bad. A little shorter than the rest of the group, but as you can see, still in a very good spot to approach the basket.
This looks like it's on a good angle, just needs to miss some late trees, and it gets a great ground play.
That is a great angle. Very nice. Chandler in almost the exact position as Kristen here. Let's see how he attacks.
Yeah, just a nice little baby flex sidearm. Scoot something on up into the green. And yeah, in a very similar spot on that right-hand side. Might have a couple of trees to work with on his putt.
Interesting to see this here. Oh, but boy, does it work out. He's going to have a drop-in birdie here on the 9th.
Wow, what a shot for Hancock there. Going with the patent pending, with the tight corner that he had to work with, and managed the ceiling perfectly. And Keith now, best drive of the group, has just a nice soft sidearm into the green. And that's no problem for him.
Parked for birdie. Like I said, likely getting a star frame, and it appears we are going to get one here from our card.
Yep, Kramer's furthest out from about no more than 20 feet.
Yep.
And nothing in the way to stop him from getting that birdie.
Creative shot, man. Gee, thanks. Very creative shot, dude.
Everybody's so close, no one knows who's next.
Can we see some battle putts here, boys? I mean, come on. What do we do?
I mean, they
Let's
are
get some
close. They
excitement.
could. This could be one for it. So we're going to see GT dropping his birdie.
Yeah, nice star frame from our card to close out the front 9 on hole 9. GT Hancock still with a 6-stroke lead, at least against the competitors on this card. We're going to take a look at our overall leaderboard here in just a second.
Yeah, I love to see what we're seeing out of our card today. Would like to see a little more push out of the 3 members chasing down GT, but hard to chase down a man that's on a mission like this. Make sure you head on over to Heiser Media to check out the back 9, and that's where we'll catch you.
Yeah, 9 more holes to go here at this year's CCR Open. It might be an exciting finish, but either way, it's going to be some good disc golf, so we'll catch you guys over there.